So, just by way of introduction, my name is Rajeev Goyal. I work in Eastern Nepal on a project called KTK-BELT, focused on biodiversity and indigenous knowledge conservation.
I'm Emily Chu. I am from Melbourne. I currently live in Hong Kong, working in sustainability finance for an asset manager. And what we wanted to talk about, so what we're going to do today is a very interactive session. We're going to be running a consultation about this proposal of an action lab. And what we are going to talk about is a little bit, I suppose, a little bit of the background, the thinking of our class, the class of 2015, how we came to this idea and the process. And then we're going to put forward actually a somewhat specific proposal, but still with lots of gaps that need to be filled, and we're hoping to get feedback from you guys today. So we'll start with the dilemma that we faced as the class of 2015. So we were in Hong Kong last year, and we had gone through the process that has been, I suppose, the cornerstone feature of the Asia 21 program, which is that the class comes together and works on a public service award. And what we found in interacting with our awardee that our class had elected and selected was that actually it was quite difficult to interact with them, and there were a few reasons for that. One of the reasons was that they didn't actually have a very clear understanding of how this network could help them. They were not actually part of the network, so they didn't feel particularly like they were invested, I suppose, in building relationships with us. And then perhaps the funding that perhaps was donated to them was a little bit, was not insignificant, but not so significant that as a network we became like a big partner or a big stakeholder in their enterprise. And we understand that despite the fact that a lot of public service awards in previous classes have been very successful and a very bonding experience, there have also been a number of other years where it's perhaps also they face similar challenges. And this led us to the thought process that while the public service award has perhaps played a really important role in creating giving this network a purpose and momentum, perhaps it was time to go to the next level and to evolve the concept. And so our class started talking about this idea of an action lab, and we were actually very interested, and we noted that as of last year, the network was 10 years old. We had over 800 amazing young leaders in the network, and there was definitely a sense of, I suppose, a network that was pregnant with potential that needed to be articulated and expressed and actualized. And we wanted to basically work together a lot more. We wanted to actually focus our attention on each other's organizations. We also noted that there was definitely a big high at the summit, and I hope that everyone here is feeling that as well. There was a lot of inspiration and enthusiasm, but there wasn't a very clear channel for expressing that as soon as the summit was over. Rajeev?
Yeah. So what we decided to do, as I think Emily laid out really nicely, is that we essentially said, why don't we, rather than creating a paper proposal, let's actually run an action lab and see sort of what comes out of it to the best of our ability. I was one of the participants in the action lab as well, and I'll talk about sort of my own experience briefly. But so what we did was we went to the class of 2015 first, and we said to them, look, if you're interested, apply for being a part of this action lab. And so there was like a process. We vetted applications, and 5 were ultimately selected. And then we tapped the larger network, and we reached out to people that we felt could add strategic advice based on the groups that were selected to be action labbed. And we invited quite a large number of what we called externals, so people from 2007, 8, 9, other classes, and from other disciplines. And then we decided to focus on what was a sort of lower cost kind of venue where I'm based in Nepal, so I had some connections there in Narayan and in Manga, and so we worked on finding a venue, setting this up, and we essentially brought everybody together from October 6th through October 10th, so not that long ago actually, in Kathmandu, and we gave these sort of 2.5 hour sessions to each of the 5 organizations that were selected. And it was over the course of 3 days, and we also built in some visitation to organizations and some sort of experiencing the context of Kathmandu, which was actually really vital to experience.
Including visiting them.
Yeah, and so including actually, we just saw this incredibly inspiring talk with Dr. Ruit, and so we actually went to. He wasn't there; he was in Bhutan, I believe, at the time. But we received a tour of the Himalayan Cataract Association. So it's quite extraordinary to finally meet him and to. I was getting kind of choked up during that presentation. I found it incredibly inspiring. And so what we wanted to do actually is maybe now show a video that we've created of our experience to kind of take you there.
The Age 21 program can do. What is the power of this network really? As we developed this retreat, we wanted to really prototype what an action lab could look like. Now, what does it mean when you get all of these people from different cultural backgrounds, different professional areas of endeavour in one room to really focus on problem solving for the amazing organisations that are in the network? What are some of the roadblocks and what are the ways that we can help?
It was a really good learning experience. Basically, it was kind of going through multiple action labs was actually really helpful because some of the feedback that was given even during the other sessions was also helpful for me as well.
I think for a lot of us who are running our own initiatives, there's a lot of operational pressures that we're not able sufficiently to withdraw at times and to fuel our vision. And I think one of the things Action Lab could do is be that space where we go back and we're able to fuel that vision, we're able to articulate it, we're able to kind of discuss how it appeals to people who are also inspired by similar things.
I think it could be a good platform for engaging all the past alumni network because I view the summit as the opportunity for people to get together, learn, and the start of a conversation. But the continuity of that conversation needs some platform for a dialogue, more of a small group setting.
I came in with a very open mind. My whole idea was to come here and be of use to founders within the Asia 21 network who are trying to make an impact. So I think the discussion was very useful. I think we were all challenged, and I'm very glad to be part of this retreat.
The program is more outside, getting to integrate a little bit more and learn more about the culture and history of Nepal is very, very cool.
I love the fact that we can take ideas, help them turn into actual practical solutions, help people to get to the next level. This is why we need the Action Lab. I can't wait for the next one. Count me in. Let's change the world. Let's change it now.
personally, I think every Asia 21 video should feature Navneet in a prominent role. His energy is missed, but I'm glad that we were able to bring him here. But the extraordinary thing that we found that happened was, and you're probably feeling it because we were here like a year ago, very curious about each other's work. And I think what happened with Action Lab was we were able to finally find out about, wow, what are you doing? What kind of challenges are you facing? And it was a very kind of intimate environment as well. So in order to get help, you kind of have to make yourself a bit vulnerable about the things that aren't going so well, challenges, some of them kind of even maybe personal challenges, professional challenges. And so in that smaller setting, what we found in this sort of retreat was that, it really started to come out and people received feedback. And I mean, whether or not we can show the causality between the Action Lab and all these amazing things that are happening, it was definitely, for me, I went in, for example, thinking my biggest challenge was fundraising for this ambitious project we're trying to do. And I came out, getting feedback from Emily and from others, realizing that it was just, I needed to tap into what this project was about, which was about indigenous knowledge and telling that story. And so out of that came a much better pitch deck and a much better set of tools. So in that sense, I think our experiment, we felt like it kind of worked, even though we didn't know exactly how it was going to work and everything, it kind of figured itself out. And so out of that came, so this session is actually very, we see it as a consultation. We tried something, we want to now open it up to all of you, because this is would also be your Action Lab and belong to all of us. So we wanted to outline a vision for the Action Lab, and then share kind of questions that we have and have us all discuss. And so this is how we articulated a kind of draft mission, support organizations founded or led by Asia 21 fellows to accelerate their growth and scalability of impact in solving some of Asia's most pressing challenges. And the vision would be an alumni-led program that systematically mobilizes Asia 21 network in-kind resources for select Asia 21-led organizations through on-site workshops like the one we held in Kathmandu that establish ongoing, strong, and active connections between alumni in support of organizational development. And these are just some of the potential outcomes. We actually think that there are many, many, many more. One could be referrals to donors, investors, sourcing board members, long-term advisors, new mentors. Many, like Kristen, for example, has developed a few new mentors after the Action Lab. And then, for Umanga from K. Garam, his challenge was going more about clarifying his mission and finding his authentic voice and kind of staying focused on that mission. So there are all kinds of these outcomes.
So to make it, for us to have a fruitful discussion and consultation about this, we have put together the outline of a proposal. So these things are actually all up, frankly they're all up for discussion, but we just want to put them out there as ideas. And then taking those ideas, we want to get your feedback around the roundtable discussions. So the first idea is that we should have an Action Lab that involves an annual selection process for organizations founded or led by people in the network. So there'd be some type of application process, there'd need to be some type of criteria with the aim of selecting about between 4 to 8 in a year that essentially go through this incubation or acceleration program. The next is that the incubation or acceleration program that is the Action Lab needs to have some type of on-site workshop component. We're proposing 3 to 4 days in some type of a location that's in Asia, hopefully in an affordable place, so not Hong Kong. But the number of people involved would be maximum 20, so say you would have 4 to 5 founders or Asian leaders that have put their organization in, they've been selected by a selection committee, and then you'd have 10 to 15 alumni advisors, so people who volunteer their time, pay their way to get to the on-site workshop, and have some type of skill or value to add that's going to be relevant to those organizations. So the advisors would be drawn from the entire alumni set. After the on-site workshop, there needs to be some form of ongoing connectivity. So this is a piece of feedback that we found from Kathmandu, is that there was, again, a lot of great ideas and connections that were made in Kathmandu, but we needed to have some type of structured way to follow up. And a lot of the follow-up at the moment has kind of been through individual initiative. But how could we make that a little bit more structured without being overly structured and burdensome? And then we're proposing that this is an alumni-led initiative, so that there'd be a steering committee that would set the strategic direction and governance and logistics, etc., and the funding relationships. And then we're also proposing that the Public Service Award funding that the Asia Society currently has, $10,000 a year to support the PSA, I think this year it was called an Action Lab, is actually reallocated. So instead of donating $10,000 to one organisation, we're proposing that that money is used to fund the operations of these on-site workshops.